Bingo.
Ah.
Hey everybody, John here. Welcome back to Catbird Hill. Happy New Year. It is actually New Year's Day, January 1st, 2024, and no better way to celebrate the dawning of a new year than with chainsaws. So the saga continues, selling out of firewood like crazy. We're down to just maybe a dozen or so ready to sell bundles. I have a stack of red and white oak that I probably could split down a little thinner than what it is now. I hadn't intended to sell it for bundles, but I actually could do that. But as you know from previous videos, we have a lot of standing dead trees here, and that's what you just saw come down. So the first one was this guy here. This was another one of these Japanese scholar trees. Very similar to the one I cut down maybe about a month ago. All dead, the whole thing's dead, but very, very solid wood, as you can see from the stump here. You know, just rock solid. What you didn't see was this branch here. So this branch actually came from this tree, from the one I took down, right at this kind of vertical side leader there. And so that branch was really long. It had a lot of weight, and I really wanted everything to be going in this direction. So I just took that off with the Echo pole pruner and dropped it pretty much exactly where I wanted, where I can easily buck it up. So I've got more of these trees. There's another one right behind this one right here, okay? And that's going to be another fairly easy drop. You know, I'll probably take this front branch off here just to, you know, reduce some of the weight, and I can steer it. Actually, what I might do, I might even take off this back branch. That's a skinny white pine in the back there, which I'm going to take out. It's kind of struggling. So I could actually probably drop this rear branch off, and then I've got nothing but a nice forward lean, maybe 10-15 degrees in the direction that I want it to fall down here. So moving on down the line, as they say, we'll go into what, I don't know if I've ever referred to this before in a video for you folks, but this is what we call the mill race. So this kind of hollowed out gully here is historically where the water from our creek had been diverted by a dam to flow down here all the way to where the grist mill was at the front of our property. So it's obviously empty now, but it's a wet area. A lot of cherry trees. These are some declining black cherries right here, these two. This actually is a ornamental cherry. I think this is a Yoshino cherry that was planted, you know, decades and decades ago, and it's starting to decline. There are some other cherries there, same types. But what I took down, the last two trees, the very last one, this is a black locust, which is great firewood. It's a devil to split, but it's awesome firewood. Nice and straight, probably about 8-10 inches in diameter at the base, but you know, nice straight, easy tree to buck up. And this was a multi-leadered black cherry. So, you know, all these were dead, ready to buck up and turn into firewood. So, you know, perfect day to come out here and do this. There's absolutely no wind. It's just a really, really nice, calm day here on Catbird Hill. And, you know, I'm sort of trying to do two things at once here. I'm trying to clean up the property from all these dead trees that are, you know, ultimately going to become hazards for us as we walk around here, and also start to create hopefully a little deeper supply of ready to sell firewood. And I've got a lot more dead trees to deal with, but these were the ones that were super easy to get to, very easy drops. So stay tuned. We're going to buck this up, and we'll end up see how much we have. this was a pretty good afternoon's work. Everything's bucked up. I didn't want to bore you with doing all of that. It was just a lot of walking around because I dropped the trees all over the place. But this is the remnants of the Japanese scholar tree. Probably close to what I had when I did the previous one. I took the previous one down about 6 weeks ago. And these are nice little, these are this area here, nice little pieces. But this is all dried. I've hand split a couple of these pieces already. Moisture content's around 14%, perfect. That's the butt end there, so that might be a little wetter, but we've had some really good dry days here, so I'll get it split, let it sit out for a little bit, and then bag it up. A lot of brush and the top deadfall there to chip up, and we're just going to work our way down the mill race here. Beautiful day today. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and man, we've had some just awesome weather the last couple days. We really have not had a lot of sun in the last few weeks here, but today's about 35 degrees, little to no wind, just really pretty. So down here in the mill race, that's the black locust, and this is all black cherry up here. So pretty nice little jag of firewood. I would say probably, based on what I was able to cut up from the tree I dropped last month, actually November. That was exactly a half a cord. I think I've got at least half a cord here to do bundles with, which is perfect. That'll get me about, I think I did maybe 65 bundles last time. They're each about a cubic foot, give or take. So that's about, half of a cord of wood. A cord of wood's 128 cubic feet, so I had, I think, 65. So I'd be really happy with that. And I did not even take down that other dead scholar tree, what I showed you earlier. I just didn't have enough time today. I didn't want to get into that. But I probably have half a cord almost in that, because that's a really big tree. That's the biggest of all the ones I've taken down. I hope you saw something interesting in the video in one of the clips. Let's go take a look at what I'm referring to. This is what I'm referring to. This is called the Firewood Pro Sizer. I'll put a link to the information about this in the description, the website. This was my Christmas gift to myself this year. It's really cool. You can pretty much see how straightforward it is. Basically, it's a laser, which I'll click on here, and you can see the lights on. And I have it just shining on the tree right there. And you just mount it to the outside handle frame of the saw. It's adjustable depending on how thick your handlebar is. If you have a really small saw, maybe like a limbing saw, it actually comes with some supplemental rubber pads you can put in there to make the handle thicker so it fits. It has set screws here also on top. I don't know if you can kind of see that little black one there. And so the laser can be adjusted left or right, and it can also be adjusted up or down. So you get the left-right adjustment set so that it's the distance from the tip of your blade to the end of the wood. So you guys know I do everything at 16 inches. So I basically just sat it down on the floor of the garage, used the inside of the garage door, put a tape measure up, 16 inches. I locked the right-left measurement out, and then I just, then I set my. You can actually, I didn't really tighten this up-down measure, this up-down adjustment too much, just because I knew I was going to be cutting some thin pieces and then some really thick pieces. So you can actually adjust that depending on the thickness of what you're cutting. I'm delighted with this thing. I think it's really cool. I'm not going to bother doing a video on how to unbox it or set it up. If you can't figure this out, you probably shouldn't be running a chainsaw. Literally, I got it on there like in less than a minute and adjusted. It was just so easy. Really a cool thing. And the reason, and the on-off button is actually on the inside right here. So if you just click that, and it goes off. The reason I decided to purchase this, you probably saw in prior videos, I used, I think, what's called a Mingo marker, which is basically a canister, a receptacle that accepts some spray marking paint. And it's there's a wheel, and as the wheel turns, there's a little tab on the wheel that depresses the actuator on the spray can, and you can set that for different lengths of logs. That worked fine. It's just an extra step. Number one, it's just, you know, if you lay out a log, then you got to walk along and do that. It just takes a little extra time. And the other thing that happens, because I'm not cutting every single day, invariably that spray, that's marking paint in the spray can, the top of it would gum up, it would get all stuck, and then I couldn't get the spray out of it, and then all of a sudden it, you know, a whole bunch came out and my hand's all green or orange or whatever color the paint is. So I'll probably use it for, you know, nice straight logs that I might have back by the firewood processing area. But out here in the field, I want to go. I just want to keep going and going. And this thing here is just really cool. So check it out. I mean, it's, you know, it's not cheap, but it's also very well made. I'm very happy with it. And it saved me a lot of time in cutting up all these, you know, all these rounds here today. So there's one other thing I want to show you before we sign off today. Something that Beth and I look forward to every single year. And because we've had some milder weather, it's happening a little bit earlier this year. Our snowdrops are up. So we planted, Beth and I planted hundreds and hundreds of these snowdrops probably 20 years ago, not long after we moved in. And we planted them in our little kind of forest area here next to our field, next to what we kind of call the meadow area. And every year without fail, they come up and they keep spreading. So it's just it's a really cool thing to see in the middle of the winter when nothing else is blooming. So thanks a lot for watching this. Appreciate it. Happy New Year to everybody. Stay tuned. We've got a lot of cool things coming up here in 2024 on Catbird Hill. Definitely some big things coming on board with the channel this year. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great New Year, everybody. Until next time, John here from Catbird Hill. Take care.